Hand coat, thank you. Save the rabbinic for some other time. You'll be able to hear me in the back? Okay, I'll try. Pull out here.
If you need a microphone, you can have it out.
We'll see.
Do you need one?
We'll see. We'll see. Okay. First of all, they're not here yet. The host and hostess, are they?
Hassan and Kala?
Host and hostess.
I can get them later.
But first I wanted to, Chazal teach us, let me back one half step. You can ask me any question if I use a word that you don't understand.
Hi.
This is our hostess, Dina. Thank you so much, Dina. We thank her and her husband and the family, all the great things she does.
Okay. So before she escaped, I would like to, somebody stop that woman.
Dina? Wait a minute.
Chazal tell us that when you come to speak in a place to give divrei Torah, one should open with koved lachsanis, to give honor and respect to the host. So Rabbi Nachman says in Kutmaran that we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere in the world, and not only in the Beit HaMikdash, but the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that was particularly in the Beit HaMikdash, the experience that was available to feel the Shekhinah HaKadosha in the Beit HaMikdash, the Rebbe says, was due to the fact that the Beit HaMikdash had beautiful kalim, had beautiful utensils. Right? So not only so we come here, so there must be a lot of Shekhinah in this place, because this whole building is filled with whole home filled with beautiful kalim. So may Shekhinah stay here, and may you continue to host shiurim.
Amen.
You all bring the stimulus. Maybe it will appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Now, the announced topic is, Lord, what fools these mortals be. Right? I'm not going to discuss a Midsummer's Night Dream, right? But we will be discussing a topic that may be difficult for some people, but it's a necessary topic, and it's not one that gets a lot of publicity. It's not one that's very well known outside of Breslov. Okay? Many people know that Breslovers are often referred to as the Toiter Hasidim, the dead Hasidim, right? Generally speaking, people understand that to be because Rabbi Nachman is not among the living. He's not walking around in our presence in that way. There's another reason that the Breslovers are called Toiter Hasidim, and that's because there's at least a relatively high degree of death awareness and death consciousness among Breslover Hasidim. Take a look around this room, that room. There's going to come a time that every one of us here is going to be dead. We are all going to leave. None of us will remain. Right? This is a fact. Right? The technical term for it is inevitable. Right? And that's the good news. Right? That we are all here temporarily. Last week there was a tragedy in Texas, right? In Fort Hood. Right? Those people who were killed over there taught us a very great lesson, and that is you never know when your time is up. Right? You can be as fit as a fiddle, in the prime of life, you're young. Some meshugana with a gun could end it for you. Right?
We just take I just want to make a super quick comment. I think that a lot of times we just take it for granted these people who were killed saving us in the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan, and people take it for granted and they forget that the people who were wounded, we might try to say bracha for them and that they're going to survive.
Thank you. Now, this is a hard piece of news to absorb. Most of us spend life trying to ignore that basic premise of life. That life is a one-way street and we're all heading to the grave. Right? That's now, what do you do with that? Right? What do you do with that fact? The purpose of knowing that is not to feel that life is futile, that life is depressing. Right? The point of knowing that is that I have an opportunity here. My time is precious. I have to focus on what's important. Right? I would like for us to engage in a brief exercise. Right? Another word for it might be called a meditation. Right? Or if you prefer a visualization. Right? And I wanted to preface that by saying that Rabbi Nachman any number of times suggests that certain meditations, right? Of course he doesn't use that word, and of course until whenever it was that Rabbi Ari Kaplan, the friend of Levrach, first used it, right? It was a dirty word to a Jew to say that he would meditate. But the fact is, visualizations are a very important part of Yiddishkeit, and a person can and ought to spend time visualizing certain goals that he has or she has in Yiddishkeit. Right? One of the meditations that Rabbi Nachman gives, which relates very strongly to this death awareness and death consciousness, is meditating on the fact that you will be dead, right? And this is how he explains it. Right? The custom is that when a Jew dies, right, before the Chevra Kadisha, the burial society, takes him out to be prepared for the burial, to clean the body and to dress the body in the shroud, they place the body on the floor with the deceased feet facing towards the door that leaves the room. Right? I don't know how many people here have any sort of experience in meditation or visualization, but close your eyes, right? And picture yourself in your